So it's that time of year again where Spotify Wrapped is here. In this video, I'm going to be going over both the artist side, the artist Wrapped, and then also the regular Spotify Wrapped for me as a listener. If you don't know me, I usually cover music marketing, music business on this channel, but this is just something fun that I like to do every year. So if you're an artist, the way you get your artist Wrapped, and I have a whole bunch, I'm only going to go through one of them. I have so many artists I could show you, but I'm going to use my personal Andrew Southworth music. You just go to your Spotify for Artists page, go to the homepage, and you'll see your 2023 Artist Wrapped is here. If you're wondering where you can find your music wrap, just open up the Spotify app on your phone as well. We're going to go through the artist wrapped first. Kind of going for this like glitchy digital vibe this year, I noticed. 2023, people were really feeling what you do. Fun animations. You had 289,000 listeners in 2023, which is ludicrous. Now, interesting thing that you might not know is that Wrapped doesn't include the whole year. Like right now, when I'm filming this, it's November 30th. This video is probably going up December 1st or 2nd or something. They don't count anything for the end of the year. So basically they count from January 1st to October 31st. And so it doesn't include the entire year, obviously, because the entire year isn't ended yet. Those 300,000 people-ish streamed music 1.16 million times, which is always, this artist rap stuff is always like so humbling, and it really makes you appreciate how people interact with the music, especially when we get to some of the cool stats that they show later. This is how much time people spent. And this is always incredibly mind-blowing that in the last, essentially 11 months, or 10 months really, people listen to my music for 5 years, which is just like absolutely insane. 5 years of straight listening to Andrew Southworth's music. It's roughly how long it would take to walk from Berlin to Beijing 26 times. Cool. That's a fun stat. Your listeners want to hear your music again and again and again. They saved your songs 45,520 times. Music was added to 23,979 playlists. Now, you can't actually see a lot of this information inside of Spotify for artists, but not necessarily for the whole year. Like, you can go in and look at saves, and then look at playlist ads, and then look at followers. But there are some stats that'll show that are unique just for Wrapped. So moving on. One track made all your other tracks jealous. I think I know what the track's going to be. Yeah. My song Chains has been my most popular track for quite a while. 67,000 listeners played it 180,000 times. Warm welcome to all the new listeners who did something great this year. Oh, your music. Ah, okay. I never know if it's going to like load something new. This is a fun little worm game thing. 227,000 people streamed your songs for the first time. So this is a stat you actually don't get on Spotify for artists. I think it was 280,000 total listeners. So most of the people who streamed our music this year were actually brand new. And then about, I don't remember, it was like 50,000 or 60,000 people had listened to my music in previous years. I wish they had that stat in Spotify for artists, because that would actually be a really cool number to track throughout the year. How many are new and how many are like people that are coming back. Your music was streamed in 175 countries. The top 5 are the US, then Brazil, then Mexico, then Germany, and Canada. And if you don't know me, I run a lot of Facebook ads to promote my music and other ads, but mostly like Facebook, Instagram ads. And a lot of the ad spend goes to Brazil and Mexico because it's so cheap. But when it triggers algorithmic playlist, it ends up causing a lot of streams in the US and Germany and Canada. So the US is my #1 country, despite the fact I spent way more budget on Spotify in like Brazil and Mexico. I'm also from the US, so that's another thing to consider. Your fastest growing countries were a bunch of countries that I don't know too much about. Monaco, as I mentioned, Zambia, Togo, Montenegro. So that's cool. Your music got people talking. Fans shared it 1,220 times. This is a stat that I don't know if it's good or bad, so let me know, based on your Spotify Wrapped, how many listeners you had and then how many shares you had. It would be really cool to see what is like an average share rate. Like if we were to compare like streams and listeners and saves and shares, it'd be kind of cool to know what is like a good rate of share, and what can someone assume if they drive 100,000 listeners, how many shares do they have? You know, this is another stat that I wish was in Spotify for artists, because I think Spotify probably really values seeing people share your music. Because you can see here, they even know where it was shared, like direct link, WhatsApp, Instagram, or other. Like a lot of people are sharing the link, but a pretty big chunk are sharing it directly to WhatsApp. So that's like someone texting their friend about your music, which is awesome. It's also cool that they specifically show you the most shared tracks as well. So Magnified I only released 2 songs this year, and one of them was like a month ago. Been a very bad year for me musically. I'm hoping the next year to get back on track. But this makes sense. It's the most shared. It's my newest song that I promoted the most. And then two of also my more popular songs, like Life is Short, one of my best performing. Black Hole is one of my best performing out of like my newer batch of music. So it's pretty cool to see that the songs I want people to be sharing are are getting shared. Not that I don't love my song Change. It's just like it's been out for so many years now. I'm less excited about it. Apparently on August 28th, something special happened. I'm guessing this is my peak listening. Yeah, between 10 and 11 p.m. on that day, 338 people listened to my music, which is the most listened to hour for Andrew Southworth's music of any year. Listeners have good taste in music. These are all my canvases, which makes me want to go in and fix all my canvases and update them. I got some video with my dogs in it in one of my canvases. My canvases were seen 99,000 times. It's like, holy crap, that's such a big number. It makes me want to make sure that I have canvases for all of my songs, because I feel like if I had it for all of them, this number would be so much higher. And I feel like it must increase brand perception of my music by having that higher. It must. I am not a gardener, Spotify. Definitely not a gardener. Because your music saw some nice growth. Oh, great joke. I gained an increase of 38% of my listeners I grew by. I got 19% more playlist ads this year, and I grew by 22% in followers, which is cool. This year, as I said, was a slower year for me musically. I'm not going to get into it here, but like I had health issues for like 3 months, and then like other like business stuff that was happening. So it was a super brutal year for me musically. So I'm hoping that next year with more music, it means that these numbers are even better, but it was a little bit of a disappointing year for my personal music. Now, this is my favorite part of Wrapped every year. This, like, this stuff almost makes me cry just because it's so, like, it really puts it in perspective. You're a top 10 artist for 1,899 people. So 1,899 people listened. I'm in their top 10. And then we go next. You're a top 5 artist for 900, so like 1,000 people listened to me and 4 other artists more than any other artist in the world in the last year. And then the craziest number, you're the number 1 artist for 217 people. 217 people listened to me more than any other artist on earth. Like, this to me means so much more than the 280,000 listeners. Not that I don't love all those people, but these 217 people, this is like the most important stat, I think, out of everything. Like top 10, top 5, top 1, these 3 numbers, I think are, if you could find a way to grow this number, I think this would be the only thing you could focus on, which would be really cool if we could see it inside Spotify for artists. But yeah, this number blows my mind. And I guarantee you, even if you're a small artist, you get a couple thousand monthly listeners, you probably have a couple people who are this. Like, you're their number 1 artist. So just think about that and appreciate it, because it's pretty amazing. And we're going to see on my listening one if I'm one of my own top artists. So this is the number we just looked at. This is crazy. And I think next they're going to give us some share stuff. Thanks for sharing your music with the world. Made something special just for us. Yeah, these are the things you can share. So I'm going to be posting these in my Instagram music page, just like a post, just kind of show people, kind of thank all the people that listen. Yeah, but it's cool. This artist rap stuff. And as I mentioned, I have a bunch of other artist profiles I could show you, but they're all the same. They're just different numbers, so I don't think that's exciting. But now let's flip over into my listening one. Now, this one has music, so I'm going to have to mute it because it's going to be playing music that's probably going to demonetize this video. So I got to have it muted. So very sorry for that. But let's go play. This one's also a little bit shorter. Hello, Genera Studios. That's the name of my Spotify profile. It's rap time. Ready? Let's do this. Yes, let's go. 2023 was a feast for your ears. You listened to 2 genres, which just kind of surprises me. How did your taste stack up? The problem is I don't always listen to music on Spotify now. I also use Apple Music. It also said 2, and now it's just showing post-grunge, which I don't even think I listened to grunge, which is a little bit weird to me. Some artists I listen to must be considered grunge. I played 730 songs. This is a weird thing that I'm not sure I agree with, because so first of all, I don't know if I need to blur this out. This is a client song. I'm gonna blur this out. Just hold on, let me finish pausing this. This is a client song that hired my ad agency to run a campaign for them. So obviously, I listen to music that comes in, especially when we're having problems. And we were having problems with this campaign, so I think I listened to it so many times just to think about like what can we target here, because we couldn't get this campaign to work. I just don't think I listened to it more than other songs. I can think of like so many like Bad Omens that I listened to a ton this year. So I'm just kind of shocked that that's that. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to blur that out because I don't know. I don't like showing people clients stuff without their permission. But yeah. I go next. You had room in your heart for more than one favorite. You romantic you. Let's see your top songs. Of course, I'm gonna have to blur out the number one on here again. Number 2 is my band. This is my metal band, Every Waking Moment. Alternative metal, kind of hard rock alternative metal. Claustrophobic is the name of the song. I listen to my own stuff when it comes out. Number 5 is also my own band. But like Just Pretend by Bad Omens, I'm surprised that wasn't my number 1 because I listened to the hell out of that album. Like that entire album I listened to a lot this year. But I wonder if I split it across so many different listening platforms that it wasn't in there. At your library, that's cool. Time is a construct, but we kept track anyways. You listened for 2,000 minutes. Another interesting thing I've noticed, and I don't know if this is like me getting burnt out working in the music world, but I listen to so many artists, like client artist music. So people I do calls with, people that I'm running ads for my ad agency. I work with, I have some artists that I technically co-manage and I've assigned to like a label and stuff, and I own my own music. So I'm listening to so much music because I'm like, I guess I work in the music industry, right? And so it's like I feel like I listen to so much stuff, and I have so many Spotify accounts that I listen to it, that I don't listen to music for pleasure as much as I used to. It used to be that all day I would just have music looping in the background, and I'd be listening to new albums and finding new music. And that's something that's kind of died, or that I've noticed over the past like 5 years, that I don't listen to music for enjoyment as much. A lot of times when I have like time off, I just want to sit in silence because of how much music I'm listening to, for work. Like this is what I do for work, right? I work in the music world. It doesn't really feel like work, but it's like I think my ears get almost burnt out. Like I'm making music, listening to music, and then when I have time off, I just want to like sit in silence. But it is kind of depressing to think about that way. That you do so much music, you don't end up listening to as much just for joy. Your listening peaked on my birthday. My birthday is October 25th, so that's interesting. October 25th. I was on vacation. Oh, you know what? I was on an airplane on October 25th. So that makes sense. I was listening to music the entire plane ride. Mostly Bad Omens and Tool, specifically. There's 551 artists here, but one came out on top. I gotta guess, probably Every Waking Moment, because I had two number. Yeah, so this is me. This is my band. So I'm a top 4% fan. And I spent 53 minutes with my own, listening to my own music. So that means there's like 3% of fans that listen even more to my own band than me, which is awesome and really cool to see that perspective of it. Claustrophobic, now delivering fan mail. See, I don't know what this does. You got something special with your top artist. Here's how you spent time with them across the year. Number 1. Every Waking Moment, peak listening month, May. I think that might have been when a song came out. Stained. I get to see Stained live. A client of mine works as part of their team, and he invited me out to a show, and it was an amazing time. If you're watching this, thank you so much again. Like, that was probably the coolest concert I've ever been to. And as a result, I wanted to make sure, like, I love Stained when I was in high school, and when I was younger as well. And then so when I basically was going to go to the show, so I'm like, oh man, I need to refresh myself on Stained stuff. It's been a while. But yeah, it was amazing. I got to go backstage. I got to meet a whole bunch of the team. I got to watch Godsmack from the side stage, like on stage, but from the side of it. Super cool experience, because it's like a 15,000 seat venue. So to be able to like be on stage and like see the crowd and do that, because I don't play live shows as a music artist, at least anymore. I haven't done it for like 14 years or something, since I was a kid. Linkin Park, they had a new song come out from back in the Meteora days. So I probably binged that song Lost. Periphery is one of my all-time favorite bands. I think they came out with a new record, or maybe I just heard of it this month. And then number 5 is 30 Seconds to Mars. I'm a huge fan of 30 Seconds to Mars. Well, I will say, mostly their first 3 albums. The first one, the second one, and then up to This Is War, which I think is their third. I used to love, especially their first album. It's like, I love that thing. I like their newer stuff. I'm just not as much of a fan of it. I missed when they were like a little more rock, but I'm a huge 30 Seconds to Mars fan as well. Top artists, here they are. Thanks for showing them to me for a second time, Spotify. I guess this is cool because you can share the image of that. Hold on. Someone's on the other line. This is definitely going to be the wrapped recordings, right? Thank you so much for listening to our music this year. It really does mean the world to us. Apparently, if you're seeing this, it means you've listened to our music like a good amount throughout the year. So I hope you enjoyed your Spotify Wrapped. We had a good year. So yeah, this must have been for Every Waking Moment that I recorded that for. We're turning off the lights. Turn up the music. It's gonna be all right. It's about damn time. Is that song? Where you listen this year makes you a hero. Maybe you should say anti-hero. Ha ha. Taylor Swift. Ha ha. So funny. Tap to reveal. Oh, this is their weird, like, what type of listener are you? I'm a hypnotist. Your concentration is absolute, friend. You like to play albums all the way through from the opening. Yeah, this is how I listen to music. I've noticed a lot of music consumers don't do this. It's mostly just the artists and the like super intense music fans, like the people who are into like pro audio or into like, I don't know, there's really passionate music fans and artists listen to music this way. Like I'll go and I'll pick, like that Bad Omens album I mentioned, or like, or a Tool album or Periphery album, and I'll just like listen to the record. That's usually how I listen to music. I'll click the album and click play. I don't really do playlists. I don't shuffle stuff. I don't listen to the radio stuff or anything. So, yeah, makes sense. I've always been kind of an album guy. Doesn't make sense from a music marketing perspective, but for my listening habits, that is. But I've noticed that I am not the normal music consumer. Yeah. So this is my whole thing. I don't know where the post-grunge thing comes in. Like maybe my band is flagged as post-grunge. I don't really even know what post-grunge is. Is that the same thing as grunge? Because that'd be more like Nirvana, I guess, or something. But yeah, either way, that's Spotify Wrapped. So I hope you found this exciting or interesting. Go check out your Spotify Wrapped. I'd love to see like anything you learned, stats, percentages, whatever in the comments, because maybe we can all collectively, with sharing our data, learn something about what is the average share rate, what platforms share the most, what countries did you have that were the most developing, because maybe if everyone is having developed in some countries, maybe there's some advantage we can all take part in those countries. So let me know in the comments below if you saw anything cool or whatever. But thank you very much for watching. If you want to see some music marketing content, I have this video right here where you can learn how to promote your music on Spotify using Facebook ads, and I go through the entire thing entirely for free, so check out that video. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.